Thank you, Father Nolan, Father Kelly, Reverend Fathers, any honored guests, and of course, my dear brothers. I grew up in a large Catholic family. I am the 10th of 12 kids, and despite the large numbers, my parents did an amazing job homeschooling, catechizing, and raising my siblings and I inside of the Catholic faith. Being one of the youngest in my family, I grew up seeing my older siblings getting married and having kids. I was an uncle by the age of 7, and currently niece and nephews numbers 25, 26, and 27 are on their way. It's been a huge blessing seeing my siblings enter into their vocations, but growing up, getting married just seemed to be what everyone did, and little Michael wanted to do something different, something special, which really only left me with one option: become Spider-Man. Being a superhero was my dream, but a dream I eventually realized couldn't come true. However, I had a superhero in my life, my brother Matthew. My brother Matthew died from cancer when I was 7 years old, but not too long after his passing, I found out a few important details. In his journey with cancer, Matthew had at some point been healed. Noticing himself drifting away from the Lord, he said to God, "I was closer to you when I had the cancer, so if you want it to come back, I'm okay with that." The cancer shortly came back, and Matthew eventually passed. But knowing he wouldn't be on this earth for long, he fully embraced the early call to home, but said if he would have lived, he would have wanted to be a priest. Inspired by his relationship with the Lord and wanting to be more like him, the desire to be a priest was ignited inside of me. When I got to middle school, the priesthood started to seem beyond me. Only holy people like Matthew could become priests, so how could I ever be a priest? In this doubt, I made a backup plan. I would post out of high school my junior and senior year, take welding classes, and graduate high school with a welding degree, just like my eldest brother did. Despite wanting to be a priest, my uncertainty led me to take refuge in my backup plan. However, the summer after my freshman year, I made the decision to transfer into a private Catholic high school, which destroyed my backup plan and left me anxious for the future. That same summer, I was blessed to serve on the prayer team for Extreme Faith Camp. Towards the end of the week, when I was in the chapel praying, I heard the Lord's voice for the first time. He said to me, "Michael, I have great plans for you." I was dumbstruck, and immediately the desire I had for the priesthood came to my mind. In the moment, it all made sense. I had wanted to do something special since I was a kid. My backup plan was destroyed, and all I was left with was my desire for the priesthood, and I felt as if I was being invited to fully embrace it. So shortly after camp ended, I set up a meeting with my parish priest. I shared with him my desire to pursue the priesthood, as well as all my concerns and all the reasons why I thought I could never be a priest. But with great gentleness and great love, he walked me through all of it, ultimately telling me to keep praying and to pursue the desire. As I walked out of the church that day with a great sense of peace, I was very grateful for Father's help, and I caught myself saying, "Yeah, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life." But I had to make sure this is what God wanted, so I started praying every night before I went to bed the prayer, "Lord, make your will for me the desire of my heart." And lo and behold, the desire only grew. I went through the rest of high school with the conviction that I was going to follow this desire to the end of the road, and I'm still on that road today. Ever since I've arrived at SJV, the desire to be a priest has only grown. God has blessed me with so many beautiful experiences of his love and has given me great examples of the intimacy that he desires to share with me. As I continue down this path, I pray that God continues to give me the grace that I need to accept his invitation, so that one day he might call me one of his most intimate friends, his priest. So for all the ways God has called me to where I am now and has guided me on this path, I say, praise be Jesus Christ.